Hello, YouTube. For the first time, Ty Rants Live coming at you on YouTube. So let's see if this will be our permanent destination or not. Hi, everybody. My name is Tyler McClain. I am your host of whatever this happens to be. Call in, get it off your chest, and let's have some fun for a while. The number's at the bottom of your screen, 814-888-4255. Charges probably apply. I don't know. It's a fake number that I have on my phone through an app that makes it so then you don't know my real number. But, yeah, we tried this a couple days ago on Facebook and got a caller. It was fun. Hoping to get a couple more tonight. I did say 8 to 10, but we'll see. If there's not a lot of people on and I can't figure out how to work all this, we might shut her down early. But for now, let's give it a go. Again, the number's at the bottom of your screen, 814-888-4255. So this is my first time ever going live on YouTube. Never done that before. I assume it all works about the same. I guess we're going to find out. I can see your comments on YouTube. I cannot see them if they're on Facebook. So if you're watching on Facebook and trying to say something, get a hold of me. I cannot see it right now. My internet connection is not that great. So if you want to comment, I will see it on YouTube. I will not see it on Facebook until afterwards. And then it's too late. So the idea of the shows, I come up with topics maybe in the future, and we have people call in and rant about that. But for now, we're just going to leave it open-ended, see how that turns out. Personally, I like listening to more talk shows and podcasts, that sort of stuff, compared to music. I really don't listen to much. So I was thinking Monday nights, 8 to 10, would be the time that I would do this. Unless somebody else has another idea. Everybody's kind of lost as far as entertainment anymore. I'm part of a couple bands, and there's no shows in the future lined up for any of them because we can't play anywhere. Radioactive goes live on Facebook every Tuesday at 9. You can find them facebook.com/radioactiveusa, and that'll take you right there. So tomorrow night, we should be there. As far as I know, we're all meeting up. But yeah, I don't know. What would you guys like to see on the show? We could do some news stuff. I just don't want to become like every other show out there. Every show seems to hit news and opinions, and frankly, I don't follow enough stuff close enough. I used to. But the world's so crazy anymore, I don't think you can really understand everything that there is anyways, so why even bother anymore? We might as well just kind of meet here, have some fun, talk stuff over, see what makes sense, see what doesn't. Seems like common sense is gone. Not many people have it anymore. They think they do, but they don't. I probably don't. See, we have a couple viewers, maybe. Let me look over here. Yeah. Whatever, I'll check that all out later. But yeah, I would love to hear your calls. If we don't get anybody here soon, we'll see. We'll come up with something else to do. But thank you all for hanging out. I'm missing wrestling for this, so I appreciate that. If you have any song requests, I can do my best. Again, if you're on Facebook, I cannot see your comments. You have to jump over to YouTube. Please like and subscribe on YouTube as well. It'd be great to get over 100 subscribers. Then I believe I can pick a URL to make it even easier to get to and easier for branding. Hooray. So, I'm starting to realize that maybe I should come into this show with a couple topics in front of me. Because today, I'll be honest, I sat down and hit stream and just kind of hope for the best. But at the same time, you know this is authentic. You know you're not getting propaganda. I don't think this stuff through. It's all whatever happens in the moment. Too many people, in my opinion, are preparing too much everything, and it ends up being some fake, I don't know. By the end, you feel like you're just being used and preached at, and it's not what this is for. This is just to hang out, have some fun, want to hear your rants. I figured if we did this on Mondays, people would be more angry on Mondays, and that could be fun. I'm not going to get angry with you. I'll probably tear you down, but someone has to bring you back to earth, right? So, if you're mad, call in. If you're happy, Matt. If you're happy, Matt. If you're happy, call in. How'd the holidays go for everybody? I know ours was nice and relaxed. I don't work this week, which is sweet. Still didn't figure out my monitor situation either. I'm hearing myself like a 0.2 seconds later than I'm actually saying it, and it's driving me crazy. But it slows down my speech. I was listening to a guy on YouTube last week, and he was talking so fast that I couldn't even understand what he was saying, and it got really obnoxious really fast. So, hey, we're getting our first caller of the evening. Hello, caller. Thanks for calling in. You're on the air. How are you doing?
Oh, pretty good. How you doing?
Cannot complain today. Keep talking. I'm sorry. Something's up with your audio. How about now? Hello.
Can you hear me now?
Can I hear you now? Good. How about now?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh, beautiful. I can hear you great. Yeah, you're on the
All right,
air.
hey.
Go ahead.
Hey, I have a question for you.
Sure.
Hey, how can the different stores not wait on you if you have a medical reason you cannot wear a mask?
So, if you have a medical reason to not wear a mask and you try to go into their store, then they won't wait on you? That's the problem?
Correct.
Well, the beginning of all of this shutdown, we got right into the if you don't have a mask on, we don't have to serve you stuff. Which remember the bakers that wouldn't bake the cake for the gay couple? Do you remember that whole situation? And my opinion on that was, okay, they don't have to make the cake for you, but because it's a free country and they can serve whoever they want. So you have every right, though, to go on Yelp or whatever it is and complain about that place, saying, hey, they're homophobic, and you let the free market take care of itself. So, unfortunately, we find ourselves in that same situation with all this. Like, you can't make anybody serve you, even if it's completely legitimate. Like, you don't need a mask because you have a medical excuse. They still don't have to serve you, but you have every right to go complain about them. That's where I would kind of leave it at. Yeah, that's pretty unfortunate. Did that happen to you or someone that you know?
Oh, yeah, it happened to me.
Happened to you? Wow.
Yes.
No, that's sad.
Yeah, because that's like, having a person go in a store with, what do you call them, a security dog or a medical dog?
Oh, yeah.
And tell them they can't go in the store because they have an animal.
Right. But as soon as we start telling business owners that they have to accept that person in there, I think that leads to a bigger problem, unfortunately. So it's really one of those situations where the business, I think you have every right to call them out for what they are, for not serving you, even though you have a legit medical reason. I think you have every right to call them out, whether it's on Yelp or Google or whatever, because they're trying to not get in trouble, but at the same time, are they really going to get in trouble, or are they just trying to look better than everyone else? And, oh, look at me, I don't let people eat here that don't have masks on. Look how virtuous and how much I care about everybody. I think that's most of them. So that's really unfortunate, but I think it's their right to do that. But it's your right to call them on their bullshit.
Right. Yeah, because you got some stores you're fine at. Now, Walmart, I have no problem.
Right.
But as far as, like Country Fair, they give me big balls about it.
Yep, they are right up your butt over there. I live very close to a Country Fair. And I know that the people working there, they're just trying to keep the police out of there, because I do know when all this started, they were getting complaints that people were walking around in there with no mask, and then the police were called, and then the store, must be corporate, got after them for not enforcing this mask mandate crap.
Right.
So they're just doing their job. Like, and in Walmart, my wife got yelled at last week. I was walking about 10 feet behind her, and one of the employees walks by and goes, my wife never wears a mask in there, okay? She's pregnant, and she just does not want to cut off any sort of oxygen that she might be.
Right.
I don't know. Her prerogative. I wear a mask in there just because I've been looking for an excuse to wear a mask in public for years now, but that's a whole different story. But this employee walked by her, and she said, if you don't put your mask on, I'm going to have to escort you out of the store. And she put her mask on, and I walk by this lady, and I say, are you effing kidding me? And she goes, yes, which I thought was hilarious. So apparently she was kidding. I don't know. Everybody thinks that they're helping everybody else on both sides of the situation. The people that are pro-mask think that they're helping stop the spread for whatever scientific bull reason they think. And then the people on the other side they feel like they're standing up to a form of medical tyranny. And it's one of those things where no matter which side of the aisle you're on, you need to understand the other side and forgive them for what they're doing, because they truly think that they're in the right. It's very, very damn hard to do, especially in your situation if you have a medical reason why not to. And
I have 2 excuses from my doctor, too, so I can show them that. Of course, it probably won't do no good. They'll just look at it and laugh, but...
They might. It's... the whole no shoes, no shirt, no service. I mean, they have the right to refuse service to anybody. I was a bartender for a long time, and people would come in, and they were already rowdy, and drunk, and I wouldn't serve them, so it's all subjective. But I do think it gets more dangerous when you start telling that business that they have to serve you, which I honestly don't even know how... Going back to the baker that wouldn't serve the gay couple, were they mandated to serve them? I don't even remember. Do you know?
Yeah, I don't remember neither.
Yeah, I ought to look that up, because it's interesting. I would hope that they weren't forced to serve them. Nothing against gay couples at all. It's for the freedom of that business to serve who they want. So I knew that when all this started, we'd start seeing that sort of rhetoric coming, where I don't want to wear a mask, you should still serve me, and that gets almost more dangerous. So I think you're kind of in a rock, or between a rock and a hard place on this one. Yeah. Are there other places to take your business?
Of course, you get the same BS there no matter where you go. Because if you don't wear a mask, then you got people looking at you like you're some kind of virus or something, or you got germs or something.
Oh, no, they look at you
you just
like
feel
you don't...
out of place,
Oh, for sure. No, they look at you like you don't care about them. For some reason, they think if you have a mask on, you're virtuous. Even though I heard a good analogy about most of these masks the other day. It's a lot like peeing in a swimming pool with swim trunks on.
Yep.
Like, the swim trunks aren't going to keep it all in. So
no.
It's a
I went to a store the other day, and I won't say the name because my daughter works there.
Sure.
And I went in, and she comes over to me, and she says, Mom, give me your stuff. I'll pay for it because I can't wait on you. And I'm like, oh, okay. So she got, my stuff, and she paid for it, and she come over to me, and she says, you're going to get me fired. I said, why? She said, because you don't have a mask on. And I'm thinking, I can't wear one. But yeah, it was like, okay, whatever.
Unfortunately, that's where we're at, because we can't make them serve us, and as soon as we do that, it is worse. I think it would get much worse. So, if possible, I know my wife and we're not going to Walmart. Ever since that situation, we're taking our business somewhere else, even if it's more expensive. I mean, Lord knows I don't have money to spend on,
Right.
groceries that cost more. But if they treat us like people and understand that we're not evil people, we just don't think that these guys like to talk about science. I don't think the science is where they think it is. So, not that I'm a super smart guy when it comes to anything like that. Lord knows I don't have any sort of background on it, but I can do simple math. I mean, when the COVID particle is way, 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 way smaller than these masks can contain, it's like catching mosquitoes with a chain link fence. Like, I can understand that. So, yeah, I would say, if possible, take your business somewhere else. Talk trash about this business. If I mean, not to encourage slander, but at the same time, these people are choosing their paths.
Right.
And unfortunately, I think everybody this year's kind of chosen their path. One thing I want to do with this show is keep both sides of the aisle open for communication. Because maybe you agree with me. I've seen both sides just stop talking to each other.
Right.
They blocked each other. I've blocked people on Facebook just because I couldn't stand their negativity anymore.
Yep.
And that's pretty dangerous on a mass scale.
Right.
So, yeah, any way that you can keep talking with people and just keep communicating, I think that's going to be the way that we dig ourselves out of this whole situation.
Well, we went to a store in Claimer.
Okay.
And I walked into the store. The guy come over, and he approached me. He says, "You have to have a mask on." I said, "No, I don't. I'm medically exempt."
Okay.
And he says, "Well, may I ask why?"
No, he can't.
So I told him.
Oh, you did?
I told him.
But no, he can't.
And he says, I know. And he says, "Well, I'm going to go look this up." I says, "You do that." So he went and he looked it up, and he come back and he says, "Ma'am, you're right." I said, "I know I'm right." I said, "And another thing, you weren't allowed to ask me why." He's like, "Oh, I wasn't?" I said, "No." And I thought, if you looked it up, you should have seen that. So I turned around and I looked at him. I said, "Yeah, but it's all good, so have a nice day." And he walked away.
But you're a nice person, because there's a lot of people that would have told him to stick it as soon as he asked that. But no, they can't ask that. That's HIPAA. That's
right. Yep.
I think my favorite part of that story is that he said, "Hold on, I'll go look it up." And just like everybody on that side, again, I try not to pick sides, but that side, they say, "Hold on, let me go ask my God Google and see what he says." And then they look it up and find the first USA Today article or whatever bull to justify what they're doing. And they read it for, how long was he gone?
Just a few minutes.
Yep.
Maybe
That's all it
not
takes
even
them.
5.
That's all it takes them to know more than you. Have you ever noticed that? 2 minutes.
Right.
They're
Well,
very
see, I'm
good
the
at
type of person, if I know I'm right, I'll stand there and prove you're wrong.
Good.
I don't care how long it takes.
Good. No, that's fantastic. I can't tell you how many articles my wife has posted or my mother has posted on Facebook that somebody else comments on with a link to some website that, I promise you, they never looked into this stuff before 2 minutes ago when they realized that it existed. So they type it in, find the closest thing that proves you wrong, and post it just to make you feel like you don't know what you're talking about, because they need to be smarter than you all the time. It's usually educated people, and educated people, I've learned this year, are some of the absolute, without a doubt, hands down, the dumbest people on the planet. They are they are taught what to think and not how to think. And they're great at it.
Right.
They have a piece of paper to show you. So, no, that is the perfect story to start this all off. These people will go in the back, Google the answer real quick, whatever answer that isn't your answer, just to make you look wrong and make them feel moral, because that's all they have. They just need to feel more virtuous. They are not more virtuous, but they feel like it in the end. And then they can walk around puffing out their chest. Oh, I made a difference today. Look at me. Look how good of a person I am. And they're not. They're boring, they're evil, and they are brainless. Oh. Hey, you got a good rant.
Yeah, some people are so smart they're stupid.
It's a lot of people. A lot of people, especially if they're college educated. Especially.
Mm-hmm.
I know more redneck homeboys that have common sense because they've lived in the real world. They see how things go. These people, quote unquote, street smart, that's real smartness. It's wisdom. When you go to a school that spoon feeds you everything that you think you know, or everything other people think they know, they just spoon feed you answers. They don't teach you how they got to the answers. There's just these answers, and then you memorize it. That's how school worked. In school, all through school, you're taught, vocabulary words. Okay, learn them for next week, so everybody memorizes them, gets them for the following week, and after the test, gone. Because they weren't taught how the words were formed or structured or the logic behind them. They just taught you the final thing.
Right.
Anything else on your mind?
Oh, not really.
Well, hey, I appreciate your call. Thanks for calling in.
Hey, not a problem.
And again, sounds like you're all about freedom and trying to keep communication open and trying to understand where people are coming from, and that's fantastic. You're doing good out there. I'm sorry people are such a pain in the ass.
I'm used to it.
Amen. Well, hey, call me again sometime.
All right, we'll talk to you later.
Yep, talk to you later. Bye.
All right, bye.
Bye. That's awesome. So I had to go off on educated people a little bit. There's a handful of people that I know that no matter what you talk about, and I've already blocked them on Facebook, so I don't even care if they see this. Some of them I haven't, though, so if you're watching, you know who you are. They watch something or read something for the first time ever or hear something for the first time ever, and they just automatically assume that you're wrong and don't know what the hell you're talking about. So the first thing they do is they go to Google because they don't know anything else. Nobody goes to the library. You can't even go there anymore. What am I saying? So they go and look up the closest thing to prove you wrong and post it to your page with the balls, thinking that you didn't already look into that and know why they're wrong. See, when I post information, or when my wife posts information, or my mom posts information, it's not like we heard it once and went and made our whole identity off of that. A big one, and I really don't want to get into it on here because I'm not nearly as good at it as my wife, but our vaccine information. They always tell you, go look it up, ask your doctor before you do anything. And we did. And we've been yelled at ever since for doing it. We go straight to the websites, straight to the CDC, straight to everywhere that you're supposed to go, have legitimate questions, and can't get any answers because we're not a doctor. It's like, well, I do have common sense, though, and I could be wrong. Prove me wrong, and I'll shut up. But nobody has. So you just get told that you're evil and aren't looking into it and aren't smart enough to understand. And it's bull. It is absolute bull. you are told to educate yourself, and as soon as you do, you're a Google doctor or you don't know anything. Do people realize that you could find information on the internet now? Like, the world is not, it's not stuck in libraries anymore. You could go online. In the last 20 years, we've been able to do that. You could find medical papers, science journals, all of it's out there. Certified by the CDC, certified by whoever you need, and it still isn't enough because you don't know what you're talking about because you don't have the piece of paper to say that you do. Well, these people with the pieces of paper, they don't know what they're doing at all. They were told what to do by someone else who probably doesn't know what they're doing either, and now they're the experts because they're all into the same brainwashed system that everyone that's come before them has. Remember when smoking was healthy? Remember when heroin was used as medicine for people? Science? These non-religious people that don't believe in God, yes, you do. You believe in God, and your God is science, and he's wrong half the time. These people don't question it because they're afraid of standing out and looking like an asshole in front of all their friends because they don't agree with the same exact narrative that all of them, all of the lemmings, all of the sheep fall into line for. They don't want to look weird. How many doctors have been shut down from the public square during this COVID pandemic? And they have the stupid pieces of paper. But no, because they don't go with the narrative, they're shut down. We can't even hear them and determine for ourselves whether or not it's good information or bad information. No, they take that away from you. If it's not the official Google narrative, the official government narrative, the official whatever crap they decide to feed you that day, you're not even allowed to question it. Now, that is a huge problem, and that's why I'm here today, because open line communication is our ticket out. As soon as you start shutting down communication between the sides, as I told our last caller, it's over. It's over. If we start having disobedience on either side and they can't communicate and figure out what to do to remedy it, where do you go from there? Where do you go? Other than south. Very, very, very quick. And not directionally south. I mean, culturally south. We've been doing that for decades now, but we've at least been able to talk to each other. We haven't had information completely blocked out until the last couple of years. They started shutting down right-wing people. They started especially shutting down left-wing people who were questioning the left and leaning more right. Don't want to ask that narrative. Don't want to see how that's going. It's absolutely disgusting. It's just disgusting. No, we're good to go now. The phone is open, so call in, get it off your chest. Again, you can remain completely anonymous. I have no idea who calls in. This app doesn't tell me who it is. And even if I recognized your voice, I'm not going to tell the internet who you are. I want you to still have a job next week. So if you have anything at all that you want to talk about, please call in. And like and subscribe on YouTube. Again, if you're listening to this on Facebook, I cannot see your comments. Maybe I can jump over there right now to see. This is only my second time doing any of this live like this, so I appreciate your patience. Scrolling on Facebook real quick, just a second. Nope, I don't see anybody on here on Facebook, so that's good. But yeah, I would like to do this every Wednesday or Monday at 8. And I was talking to my in-laws a couple days ago about possibly putting this on Spotify or some other streaming service so then you could listen to it at a later date. I'm trying to get the quality up, the audio quality, the video quality. I need to get a better internet service before I can get the better video quality, though. I'm sure you guys, I'm not crisp on your end. But we're at least getting it up. Again, the number's at the bottom of your screen, 814-888-4255. There may be charges to your phone. I don't think so, though. It's just a regular phone number. So unless you're calling from out of the country, which is amazing, if somebody's actually listening to this crap from somewhere else. And if somebody's listening on YouTube, if you could just leave a comment to make sure that I can see comments come in on here, I'd appreciate that. We're still in the beta phase. We're still trying to test it all out and make sure it all works. I forgot I made a screen for when people call in. Our last caller, I wanted to put this on, this whole rant on air graphic. I don't know. I like graphics and doing this sort of stuff. I don't know. I need to produce somebody's show that's better at talking than me. That is interesting, though, about... I've seen people online, some right-wing friends that have been complaining about businesses not letting them go in without a mask. And I remember them complaining about the bakery thing when that couple, the gay couple, wanted a cake and the baker said no. I remember them siding with the baker, saying, yeah, they don't have to. And as soon as it comes around to you have to wear a mask, oh, well, you need to serve me. I don't think that's the answer. I think you let the free market do its thing. Jump on Yelp, call them out, say, hey, they didn't serve me, and I have a medical condition, and they asked me what my medical condition is. You put that on Facebook, you put that on Yelp, you put that on Google reviews or whatever, they're not going to last too long. I think let the free market work itself out, because somebody will open up a bakery, somebody will open up, in that situation, somebody will open up a bakery that will proudly serve homosexuals. So I don't see the problem with that. And then chances are that person will go out of business that wasn't serving the gay couple because the collective group of people realize that that person's an asshole. And that's the free market doing its own work. The more that you regulate the free market and tell the free market what to do, the bigger these problems get. And I'm surprised that my friends that were complaining about the mask thing were thinking that. Because, like I said, they were all about the baker not baking the cake. It's a terrible situation. Because right now we have people that think that they're more virtuous by not serving people without a mask or not treating them like people. And they are people. If the mask works, by the way, why don't you just wear one and then shut the hell up? If it were to work. If it actually works. But I don't think it does. I don't think any of it does. I don't think the vaccine's going to work. I think you're all going to become mutants. I think we're about to watch a genocide of the elderly like we already did. We already did at the beginning of this thing. They didn't want hospital too full. They didn't want... I'm going to learn to speak one of these days. They didn't want hospitals too full, so they just sent all of the people with COVID to the nursing homes. to the most susceptible population of the sickness. And then we saw crazy deaths, I believe in New York, parts of Pennsylvania. Doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't make sense. None of this makes sense. So I think we're going to witness another genocide of our elderly. But you know what's more disgusting is I don't think half of the elderly people's kids who are in their 40s, 50s, 60s, I don't think they care, because so many of them hate their parents anyways, and there's such a burden on them that they're probably hoping, oh, this is great. I don't have to go visit my relatives anymore because I can't. The way we treat old people is disgusting. We send them away to a facility. Sure, we need to work. Sure, we need to keep our lives going. But is the answer really sending them to a permanent daycare center where I know that most of them are treated very good and are treated by people who love that line of work? There are people that legitimately love those people that work there. And they're the only people they have left in their lives, and it's sad. It seems like you work your entire life to enjoy maybe 10 years of it, maybe, if you're lucky, after retirement, doing whatever retired people do, and then you can't take care of yourselves, and your kids don't want to take care of you either. So you end up in a facility where they don't have to deal with you. And that can't be the answer. It can't be the answer. I don't know a better answer. I always told Mom, we'll just throw you out back in the woods and let you go for it, and we'll drop food off in a dish every now and again for you. But I don't think the answer is locking them away. And this year they've been locked away. And it's so sad. Is this even still live? Are people on? Is this still going? Okay. If anybody is watching this on YouTube, if you could share, or if you could comment, I'd really appreciate it. I want to see if it comes up on my screen. I'd love another caller. If we don't get anybody else by 9, I'll probably shut her down then. But I'd love to hear from somebody. This show, I would like to do it weekly. I watch a couple shows that are more talk show based where people call in, and it's usually more focused, but I wanted to see if this open-ended thing would be better or worse as far as getting people to call in, because sometimes it could be too open-ended. Like, it's like a teacher in school saying, write a 5-page paper, and you say, okay, what about? And they just say, oh, whatever you want. It's harder now because now you don't have any criteria to base it off of. So if you think that this would be better in a topic-based forum, let me know in the comments. Or if you like the open-ended, if this thing takes off for whatever reason, not that there's not enough shows on the internet. Well, there's millions of people that do stuff like this. You chose to be here, though, so cheers to you. But something different, something that's authentic. I mean, I'm not putting on any sort of a face here tonight, if you haven't been able to tell already. What you see is what you get. This is as authentic as it gets. Just me and a guitar. talking to some people on the phone, maybe giving some advice, maybe ripping some people down if they need it. Any sort of topics anybody wants to talk about, call in. I know nothing about anything, so makes it a lot easier on my end. I've realized there's too much in the world to know. You can't know everything, so why worry about the future of what you don't know, the past of what you didn't know, and just live in the present and do your best. And ever since I've started doing that, I've been a way happier person. I don't have much. I don't make a lot of money. I don't have a big house I rent in a duplex, but I am one of the happiest people on this planet. I'm truly happy. I don't need things. I don't need people. I just need to live in the now. And the more I've been doing that, I realize that everything around me is pretty awesome. I have an amazing wife who's my best friend and has been for almost half my life now. My daughter is the funniest, cutest, little loving thing you'd ever see. My dog's pretty cool. My studio's pretty cool for as basic as it is. I can do stuff like this. Like my guitar. I've had this thing for 8 years. Bought it for way too cheap off an old roommate. I don't have much, but I'm happy. I'm truly happy, and I've met people that have everything and are miserable because they're too worried about the past. They're too worried about the future, and neither of those exist. Neither of them exist. The past is gone. You can learn from it and kind of shape maybe where you're going, but you're not going to go where you think you're going anyways. You got to live in the present. It says be in God's presence. Hi, Harlan. Here, we can show you guys. Here, want to say hi? This is my daughter. Here, come over here. They can't see you. Come say hi. No? Okay, there you go. Look at the camera. Say hi. Hi. All right, I'm working. I'll be with you in a couple minutes, okay? All right, I love you. Go over there. I'm working right now. Don't need too many psychos knowing I have a kid in case I piss somebody off. But no, she's amazing. My family's amazing. My family, my in-laws, like, my life is great. I love my job. I just do some basic stuff in a factory, shop. Don't make a lot of money, but it pays the bills, and I just ate some food. I'm happy. I like my job. And there's so many people that have, like I said, they have everything and they're miserable. And it's because they're not living in the present. Going back to the older people, how many of them say to you when they're older, pay attention in life. It's going to go by so fast. It's going to go by and you're not even going to know. So many of them lived for the future. They lived for retirement. And then they got there, and was it what they wanted? Probably not. Maybe. But probably not. They spent their whole life worrying about what's coming, and they didn't see what was in front of them. They didn't see their 4-year-old daughter when she was 4 and reading books with her and wrestling with her on the bed and reading her stories. They did it just to get past that so then she could be 5 and go to school, just so then she could go to college to get a job to go retire It's all about the next thing. It's never about right now. And if you're not living right now, you're not living at all. At all. Your life is probably miserable. You probably have addictions. All that. I've seen people posting about drug addictions and alcohol and porn addictions and eating addictions. It's all the same. It's all to try to make yourself feel comfortable in the present instead of actually living in the present. It's not addressing what's right in front of you. It's not living for what's there. It's living for the future. It's living for what you're not promised. None of us are promised tomorrow. I might not wake up tonight. I don't know. One of those meteors that's been hitting China or Canada or New Zealand, one of those might come right through my ceiling tonight, knock me out. And I died happy. Nothing wrong with that. Anybody watch the movie Soul? I watched that last night with my wife. I thought it was very interesting. The guy's looking for his purpose throughout the movie. Yeah, you watched Soul too. She says it's her favorite movie. The guy spends his whole time trying to figure out his purpose and can never really lay a finger on what it is. I probably shouldn't ruin the movie for you, but it talks about this stuff. It talks about how the only thing worth living for is living. And the only way that you can live is if you are in the present. If you're just doing small talk to get through the moment, to make it to the next conversation, make it to the next holiday dinner where you have to get together and you have to eat and you have to do this with people because that's happiness. If that's all you're doing, what are you doing? You're going to be one of those people in your 70s, in your 80s, maybe your 60s or 50s, who knows, saying, where has my life gone? And the answer is your life has been right here the whole time, right in front of your face. But you've been looking back there or in the future over there. Live for the moment. Now, that doesn't mean do what makes you happy all the time and don't do anything else. That's not what that means at all. If you live just to be happy, you're not going to grow. You're not going to learn. You're going to be stagnant and you're going to die, like, really quick. You're probably going to die not happy. Because that's one thing, going back to addiction, is it's never enough. The thing about lusting as a human, the dirty secret is that lust is never fulfilled. It's never enough. Whether it's drugs, alcohol, porn, women, food, it's never enough. You're always going to keep seeking and looking forward to the next hit, next whatever it is. And you can't possibly live in the present with any of that. Kind of a side note, but the reason I learned this week, the reason why people pray before they eat, you ever think about that? So, the reason to pray before you eat isn't necessarily to thank God for the food in front of you. I mean, be grateful, but you got the food. It's there. God doesn't need your thanks all the time. Live in his presence and love one another, and that'll be thanks enough. But the reason why you pray before you eat is to make yourself conscious that you are about to eat. Because how many people eat and snack and just keep shoveling it in, and next thing they know, their plate of food's gone. The box of whatever is gone. The snack pack that they just railed is gone, and they don't even remember it. I've been there. Oh, I've been there. Don't worry. But the reason why you pray before you eat is to make yourself conscious that you are about to eat. So you're probably going to get me more views than me. You're way cuter. All right, go over there. I'll be done in just a couple minutes, buddy. I love you. The reason why you pray before you eat is so then you're consciously aware of what you're about to do, which I thought was very, very interesting. Makes a lot of sense. If there's a sound coming over this, let me know. I just had some weird sounds show up. I think it's gone now, but it made sense. So then you don't go unconscious while you're eating. That's most of these people's overeating problem is they black out. They just eat until it's gone, until their whatever internal struggles, internal pain goes away, and they're okay again. And I don't think that's healthy. I think if you're conscious of your food, not only do you enjoy the food in front of you even more. Man, I got some crazy sound issues going on here. I'm sorry. Still figuring all this out. I appreciate your patience. If you go unconscious while you're eating, you don't enjoy the meal. You just end up overfed and too full, and next thing you know, you're going to be hungry again soon because whatever thing you were trying to cover up with the food is still there. It'll still be there, whether it's anger or regret or something you did that you're trying to bury under it. It's still there. So yeah, be conscious when you're eating. I don't know where this went. So, numbers at the bottom of your screen, 814-888-4255. If I don't get another caller here within a couple minutes, I'll shut her down. I'll normally do 2 hours, but just in case this one went weird or didn't turn out right or something's up, I want to make sure that everything is good to go. I do appreciate you guys tuning in. Looks like we've had about 19 people on. Is that accurate? And I'm still figuring all this out, but I'm having fun with it. And in the future, I would love any sort of feedback. What you want to see on this show? Do you want to see guests? Do you want to see planned calls? Do you want to see topics? Do you want to see news? Do you want to see comedy? Do you want to see... I don't know. I'm totally open for this. I just want to get on here and talk with people and be real. I feel like that's something that doesn't happen much anymore. I feel like everybody's putting on a face and they're afraid to step on toes or say something wrong. But I'll say whatever I want. I'll give you my honest feedback from it. And none of it's out of anger. This is all out of love. Even though I sounded like I'm angry at intellectual people, it's not that. It's that I love those people. I do. And they aren't loving other people, and therefore they have no love. You cannot hate anyone. Because the feeling I get when these people post on these articles that I post, or that my wife posts, or anybody posts, they have this sense of hatred towards people that don't know as much as them. And it shows. They start calling names. They don't listen at all. They hate you because they automatically out the gate think that you're stupid. Even if they didn't know a thing that you were talking about, they automatically have to know more than you because they don't love you. And it's sad. Because if they don't love you, they love no one. They might think they love their family. They might think they love their kids. But they don't. What they love is control. They love controlling other people. They love controlling their kids. They love controlling their parents. They need to be in control. And the sooner people figure out that you are in control of almost nothing, the better your life will be. They say give your life over to God, and that's not because, well, they don't say that at all. Most of them don't believe in God. To each their own, whatever. They're wrong. I know in God, so they can believe what they want. But they think that they have control. And they think they've thought that for a long time, and they wonder why their life sucks and why they hate their life and why they're depressed and why they're addicted to everything and why they're unhappy. And the reason is because they've never, ever actually been in control. If you pay attention, you're not in control of anything. Not even your own thoughts. You don't control your thoughts. You don't even create your thoughts. Your thoughts are just given to you from external sources. External stimuli. It's not even your own. And you're trying to control them. You're trying to control your life. The more you try to control it, I bet the less happy you are. Let go. Let go of control. Live in the present. Live by the word. And the word is love. And love is written on all hearts. And if you don't love, you don't know God. And you're not happy. And don't act like you don't know what went wrong. I just told you. Well, hey, this was a good test. I know I said I was going to go till 10, but we only got a call, and frankly, I want to make sure all this works. So let's maybe we'll do this again this week. Like I said, I don't work this week, so unless somebody has any last-minute calls, I'm going to go ahead and sign out. Thank you guys for tuning in and showing your support. If you like what you saw, please like and subscribe. I'm on Facebook too. Go ahead and like on there and shoot me some messages. I'd love your feedback. If there's anything different you want to see on here, anything that you think could be a lot of fun, I have fun with this. Whether or not people actually listen or not. I'm sick of seeing people not being themselves. So at the very least, you know that you have a real person online you can come see and hang out with. So thank you, friends. Thanks for hanging out. And again, my name is Tyler McClain. I'm your host, and I'll keep doing this until somebody shuts me down. So thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you probably this week again sometime. We'll give her another go. Thanks, YouTube. See you guys. Good night.